Pioneers!
So in this video, we'll talk about nodes that lead to testnet, which eventually leads to the decentralization of the mainnet. So let's start by understanding why we value decentralization to begin with, and then we will talk about what we really mean by nodes, and what's our implementation plans to get there. So why do we really value decentralization? At Pi Network, we believe that ordinary people should have a greater voice and capture a greater share of the value they create in society. We believe that the best way to achieve this goal is by building a decentralized currency and economy. Pi's decentralized currency will eventually be secured by a distributed global network of pioneers rather than being controlled by one single centralized entity. Pi's global network will be ultimately self-governed, meaning that the community can shape how Pi evolves over time. When Pi is fully decentralized, pioneers will also have full sovereignty and control of their own cryptocurrency holdings. So making progress in decentralization brings Pi closer to the phase where pioneers will be able to sell or exchange Pi without centralized interference, just like Bitcoin and Ethereum. In other words, moving into phase 2, the testnet phase, takes us one step closer to mainnet, phase 3, when Pi can be traded freely with other currencies in addition to trading for goods and services. So now let's look at what we mean by nodes. Pioneers that want to help secure Pi's currency can choose to become a node. Nodes are the fourth role in the Pi ecosystem and run on computers instead of mobile phones. Similar to other blockchains, Pi nodes will be responsible for validating transactions on a distributed ledger and resolve the challenges in maintaining a distributed currency by having all nodes come to a consensus on the order of new transactions getting recorded. Unlike nodes that use proof-of-work protocols such as Bitcoin and Ethereum, Pi nodes use a different consensus algorithm based on the Stellar Consensus Protocol. In that algorithm, nodes form trusted groups, quorum slices, and only agree to transactions that those trusted nodes in those quorum slices agree to as well. The security circles from Pi mobile miners aggregate into a global trust graph that enables Pi nodes to form quorum slices to determine who can and cannot validate transactions on a shared ledger. Also, unlike other crypto projects, the Pi node will continue to uphold the philosophy of user-centric design. Instead of requiring much technical knowledge to set up a node, ordinary people will be able to do that by installing a desktop application on their computers, just like installing any other computer app. Through this desktop application, pioneers can switch on or off the ability to make their devices available or unavailable for serving as a node. So by March 31st, 2020, we will make available the first initial version of Pi node, and you will be able to download it and install it. This initial version of the node will include two interfaces, the node interface and the desktop Pi interface. The desktop Pi interface will be similar to the interface of the mobile app and will allow people to check their Pi balance and use the Pi chats on their personal computer. However, only members who apply and get selected initially by the core team to serve as a testnet node will have the node interface fully activated. The detailed requirements and selection process about this will be announced along with the software launch. This version of the node is the first step towards building the Pi testnet, which will enable the core team to test the consensus algorithm and its scalability, calibrate configurations, and adapt and improve the general consensus algorithm. Pioneers who run this version of the node will not need to be concerned, though, about such complicated processes. If they are selected as a node, all they need to do is decide when and if their devices are available or unavailable to serve as a node in the testnet.
How will we implement nodes? The nodes for Pi's testnet will be launched and open for application by March 31st, 2020. In order to be selected to run certain versions of the node on Pi's testnet, pioneers will have to undergo KYC. More KYC slots will be opened up to support node enrollment and advancement of the testnet. More detailed selection criteria for Pi node will be released along with the software. But overall, the principles of node selection will be based on trustworthiness in the network, the availability and reliability of the device,